Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. I am super excited to introduce this next guest. He is a resident sailor on board Virgin Voyages. He's currently on board the Valiant Lady, and he is a client of Fabulous Adventures, which I'm super we could call him a fabulous client and a resident sailor, which would be awesome. But I'm super excited to introduce Mark. So, Mark, hello. Thank you for joining us
Thank you for
today.
having me. This is a lot of fun.
Yay! I know, right? So how long is it that you've been on board? I mean, I know, but tell the people how long you've been on
I
board.
started sailing on a Halloween cruise on the 30th of October and went through November,
October,
and
yeah.
now we're into December.
I know, that's so crazy. And we've actually never met before. We just met on my last sailing. So I just got off the ship on Sunday and we had never met. It's what we were able to hang out and party and have a good old time and have some breakfasts and dinners and drinks together, which was super fun.
I had
So we got to hang out.
one opportunity to meet Ariana
Go
on the
ahead.
first sailing, and then I got to meet
Yeah.
Kelly, and now you, or you and Kelly
Yeah, I
again.
know, which is And then Kelly and I, yeah. So you've met the whole fabulous team. Well, there's more to us, obviously, but that's the portion everybody knows. But there are more to us. But yeah, it was super great to meet you. So I will tell you, I had a really good time with you last week. It was fun seeing your seahorse living in Razzle Dazzle. That was super fun. I enjoyed that. I'll have to post that picture.
Yeah,
But you said you're
yeah.
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say the Razzle Dazzle's coming out of retirement.
Yeah, is it? Oh, it's coming out of retirement. Why? Tell me what's going on.
Uh, in the Seahorse races, I've competed with Razzle Dazzle. I had to decorate a seahorse for the Seahorse race, and I thought a black and white striped seahorse was within my wheelhouse for artistic skill.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a really exciting race. I was in last place, dead last, and ended up getting a good spin on the wheel and ended up going to first place and winning. And then
Oh, oh my gosh.
and then I did that again, but this time I remained in first place, and I was the one pulled back out of first place, but still won with Razzle Dazzle. And the excitement yesterday was that I
Ah,
bid and won another Seahorse auction, and I will be competing as Seahorse number one, and I will re-enter
mm.
Razzle Dazzle into that race.
Awesome. You're just going to take Razzle Dazzle from Razzle Dazzle and then just use that one, not redo a new
Right,
one, right?
except tonight I am going to decorate a new one just for the fun of decorating the new one.
Oh, you are?
So
Oh, fun. Okay, that'll be fun. Well, I can't wait to see what it looks like. So, what Mark's talking about, if you've never done it, it's a game on board called. Is it called Seahorse Race? I can't remember. What's it actually called?
good question.
Maybe it is called the Seahorse Race. I think it's called the Seahorse Race, but it's a uh, non-traditional. How would you explain it, Mark? Non-traditional horse game, basically a horse betting game. So what they do is they do it in three parts, and you can correct me, Mark, in any of this, but they have an auction for the seahorses, and they explain each seahorse, and there's six of them,
Correct.
right? Yep. So there's six seahorses, and they have an auction for each seahorse, and they explain the. It's really cute how they give each seahorse a personality and and like I don't know, just um characteristics and whatnot. And so you bet on it. What's the starting bet? Do
It's
you
fifty
remember?
dollars.
With $50. Okay. So you start it and then you have a paddle. And of course, just like any other auction, you're like, raising your paddle. So whoever gets the highest, obviously, bid wins that seahorse. So then they pool all that money. And I think Virgin only keeps like 10% from what I
That's right.
understand. Yep. So they, yay, I'm doing it. So they only keep 10%. They pool all that money. And then the second part of it, you get to decorate your seahorse,
Right,
right?
and you get to decorate it under the influence of bubbly.
Okay, perfect. That's the best part of it, right? Is that you decorate under the influence of bubbly. And so Mark, what he's saying is that he decorated his seahorse as to look like Razzle Dazzle, so the black and white stripes. and we'll post a picture. Oh, I don't know if you can post a picture afterwards, but I'll, if Ariana can, then we'll post a picture of it afterwards because I took a picture of it, took a picture with it, because I was very excited to see his seahorse on display in Razzle Dazzle. So you get to decorate it with bubbly, and then on the third day is the actual race. Now you can explain the race and how that goes.
So there's a board that has 6 lanes and say a dozen squares going forward. And there are 3 spots where if you land on one of these rows, you get a chance to spin the Wheel of Fortune. And if you spin the Wheel of Fortune, you can go
Mm.
forward, you can go backwards, you could wear a tutu, you could wear a snorkel, you could dance. Uh, and one of the things that happened on it was that you could bait and switch. And so you could choose which seahorse you wanted to switch positions with. And and I
Oh,
was called
that's
on bait and
crazy.
switch, and I had a collusion agreement with somebody. The one person I had the collusion agreement was if we get the bait and switch, we'll choose a different person if there's a choice. So, and of
Mm.
course they were in the first position, and the crowd was saying three, three, three to me, and I bowed to the pressure, and I did give them my free drink that I had won, but I did end up
Oh,
bait and
nice.
switching them out of the, virtually one spin
Well,
away,
I mean,
and I,
yeah, it's kind of like, yeah,
you know, what do you do? Uh,
yeah, I agree. It's like one of those things that, like, oh, what do you choose? People are gonna think you're silly if you choose another something else. You know, they're gonna be like, "What? Are you not seeing things? Like, what's wrong with
so
you?"
they roll 3 dice, and then Mordor, the Eye of Truth. There's another sailor who will verify what's being called. Will say Seahorse number 1 moves forward 1 square, and Seahorse number 6 moves over 2 squares and has won the race. And at
Oh,
that
wow.
point, I start jumping up and down and being really happy because
Yeah.
I know how I'm spending my sailor loot. And
Yes. So how do you? I know how you spend your Sailor Loop, but tell everyone else how you spend your Sailor Loop.
I immediately invested in the art that they sell on Virgin Voyages in squid ink. So I have been I have
Yes.
been
Yeah.
artistically decorating my body so far on this journey with 8 tattoos.
Yeah. Oh, so you've gotten 8 so far? I didn't realize it was that
Yes,
many.
last
Well, look at you.
what
I
I
love it.
did yesterday was I got new ink, and so that's over here.
Oh,
Maybe I
there she
should zoom in.
is.
This is
Yeah, it's a
Rachel.
little bright, but
This
yeah.
is Rachel,
Yeah, Rachel. I was just gonna say there's Rachel.
and been to the
Wow.
uh, if you've been to the dance untitled dance party thing, you'll
Yeah, Untitled Dance. Yeah.
you'll
Hmm.
know who Rachel is or what Rachel is, and it's now
Yeah.
permanently or semi-permanently affixed to my arm.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool. I love that. Now you got to put Tubbs on your arm.
Ah,
Tubbs
maybe Tubbs is
is
hiding.
the yeah, that's true. Tubbs is hiding. Tubbs is definitely hiding. You haven't had Scarlet Night yet, have you?
No, that's tonight. Tonight.
No, is it? I was gonna say it's tonight, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, that's super cool. I love that you're on board. I think it's super cool. I've got a couple questions for you. Um, so I'm sure you run into a ton of people. What is the first thing you tell people when they ask why are you still on the ship? Like they're probably like, "What? Why are you still on the ship?" What do you say to them?
Uh, well, number one, because I was able to find a way to do that through Fabulous Adventure Travel, plug, plug, plug. Uh,
Oh, I love that.
but
Thank you. Yeah.
but I'm
Thank you.
practicing staying present, and so this is a
Yeah, I
exercise
love that.
in avoiding the distractions of reality and just being able to enjoy and even if we miss a port day, being able to enjoy the ship for what it is and the people that are here. So it's
Yeah.
just been really, it's been a great mental health exercise for
Oh, I love that. So I know that you have a routine because we've talked about it, but how has your day-to-day life changed after months on board, and do you have a routine?
Yeah, I wake up early. I wake up early. I go up to the perch. I put in a
Walk.
5K walk. Uh,
Yeah,
I do not use the elevator except if I'm in the company of people that can't navigate,
with
yeah,
heels.
the heels. So I'll go, say, from sailor services on the fifth floor up to the 15th floor or something like that, and people will be like, uh,
That's
well,
awesome.
that's not what they say. It's like, I'll take the elevator and meet you there.
Yeah.
They're on vacation,
Yeah.
but I try to put in,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I've been aiming for like 20,000 steps a day. So I walk around, if, take the long way there. And
Go ahead. Sorry, keep going.
uh, yeah, we just may have missed each other there. I take the long way there. I have a make your own breakfast in the galley that I enjoy, and then I start doing little things to keep myself occupied during the day, whether it's a show, looking outside, just being around people. Uh, it varies every day, but I've yet to turn on the TV. There's been no excuse for me to turn on the TV or to really to even take naps. I am doing stuff all day long and enjoying it. And then the evenings I see a show or two and call it a night and recycle for the next day.
That's awesome. I love that you haven't been able to turn on the TV, or haven't, not that you've been able, or you haven't had the time, I guess. You're keeping yourself busy. One of the things I do love about Virgin is that they have so many great movies. So you can get lost in the cabin if you want to. So I love that you're not, and you're just getting yourself out there and enjoying the ship.
And the people, because you're not going to meet
Yeah, and the
people.
people. Yeah, you're right.
You're not going to meet people in your cabin unless you're, you know, door
No.
open or something like that. That would be strange. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. I feel like, I always think about if I were to live on the ship, people would probably say, the first thing people probably say, like, wow, how could you stay on the ship all that time? But they ask me sort of the same thing because I'm always on board. How do you sail the same ship over and over and over again? And I'm like, it's different every time, which I'm assuming is the same for you, even though you're on board, because you're meeting new people every time. As long as you're an outgoing person and you're out there meeting people. But you also go to the solo sailor
right, each of the sailings,
events.
I attend at least the sail away solo meeting, and I get a visual
Mm-hmm.
as to who is sailing solo, and will engage them uh, off the solo event. If I see somebody in the hallway, I may
Mm-hmm.
just stop by and ask them or talk to them. But as I'm sitting here, I'm in the library, which when you board Valiant Lady is immediately to your left when you come down deck
Mm-hmm.
7. And and there's so many people that I know that are walking by and or waving at me as they see me here.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
so I really, the people change. The decorations on board, especially around the holidays, have changed. The cast and the
Yeah.
show have changed. Uh,
Yeah, I'm sure.
and if you take different seats in the shows, I really like in a lot of the shows to either watching a painter paint or even participating and taking brush strokes. Uh, out on
Oh,
out on the dock, there was a mural that was painted while I was here, and "Don't Ask, Don't Get" came over me, and so I went over to them and I said, "Hey, would I be able to put a few brush strokes on?" And they gave me a brush with some paint on it and said, "Go at it." So I've got
yeah.
strokes on the art on the ship.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's the cool part, like we said, about being on board, is you get to meet and you become family with the crew, because the crew's already somewhat a family because they've been on board for so long, and now you've kind of inserted your way into their family, which is so great. Um, so how many crew members now like know your name? Do you feel like everybody knows who you are at this point? And
Yes, they all know.
yeah,
They heard about the back to back. Somebody had called me back to back, and I was like,
is that what they?
and I was like, well, my name's Mark. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, in fact, Misbehaved show, they announced that I
yeah,
was there in the show last night. Uh, there, they, there's an opportunity for you to answer questions, and since I've seen the show multiple
yeah.
times, I know the answer. And Candy, who's the lead role in Misbehaved show, says, "Everybody, this is our favorite cheater, Mark. He's become a fixture in the show." And so I got Team Sailor there first point.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the cool part is that you really start to become family with them and that they know who you are. I love that. I think that's super cool. Um, Also, let's see. What's your favorite hidden gem on board that you think most sailors might miss?
The Tres Leches cake, which I had just prior to coming online with you, I had a snack with that. You can find that at the dock, and you can also find it in the quickies up in the galley. It's a nice little snack to have. So that's a hidden gem. I think that one of the things that people don't know about on the ship is that there's a panoramic bathroom. So off by the pool on deck 15, there's a bathroom that is quite beautiful to be in. Oh, here we go. I've got casts of Untitled and Happenings members that are walking by me, waving to me. It's like, oh,
You're like yeah, you're like family. That's what I was saying. But yeah, the tres leches cake. I want to go back to that really quick. The tres leches cake. Everyone keeps telling me to try it, and I've yet to try it. I still keep forgetting. So you'll have to remind me on January 8th, or bring me some when I get on board again.
oh, you
Say
don't want me to
Samantha,
go get you
eat this.
some today and save it for you? You get your fresh one?
Yeah, yeah. Please don't say. Please don't save it for me yet. Maybe the week before. I'll be back soon.
Yes, looking forward
That's
to it.
super cool. Yeah, I know. We're gonna have fun. Okay, so got a couple more questions for you. Yeah, do you have any special places? So one of my questions is at this point, does the ship feel like obviously like home, right? Do you like to claim dibs on certain chairs or pool loungers or certain tables that you're like, this is where I'm sitting? They're like, this is where Mark's gonna sit. Like, do you do any of that?
I do. I get coffee in the galley first thing in the morning, and then I get another coffee a little bit
Right?
later on in the grounds club on the seventh floor. And there's a bay window that I can put a couple pillows into, and I set up
Yeah.
office. So if I'm going to do any work in the morning, that's where I do it from. It's my office. Yeah. They know me
Oh, that's
there,
cool.
and so I don't even have to order from there. They're
That's really
willing to
cool.
come over to me in the grounds club
Yeah.
and check in with me, and what would you like, Mark?
Oh, that's super cool. I love that. That's awesome. Well, I want to chat just a little bit about solo sailors. Wow, it's so hard to say quickly. It's like sailor loot. I can't say that fast. I'm like I got to slow it down. Sailor loot. Solo sailor. Um and so you go to the solo sailor event. You're the one that actually says the ahoy, right? That's what they've given you because you're always there, right? Isn't that's what you told me just
Yeah,
recently?
yeah. My role in the Solar Sailor meetup is to demonstrate the proper way to reply to ahoy sailors. Ahoy!
Oh,
Very loud.
that's what it is. All right, I love it.
Um, if you're ever booking within the window where you're
Yeah.
having problems in getting dinner reservations and you're solo, solo is the best way, I think, to take last minute cruises. If you take a solo cruise, you don't actually have to.
Mhm.
There's Darissa, the flame. Um, Flare. Uh, the solos have the opportunity every night to have a table reserved for them. So if you want to go and mingle with other sailors, they've
Yeah.
got a table for four at the wake, a table for four at extra virgin, a table for four at pink agave, and then larger opportunities at razzle dazzle in the test kitchen. So as a solo sailor, you have priority to coming to one of these tables, and literally I've made zero dinner reservations. I eat at the restaurants that I want to eat at every single night. The only reservation that I will sometimes make is to go to see the ship show, because you need a reservation for that. But otherwise, I feel like going to Extra Virgin instead of
Mm.
waiting till 5:45. I go there at 5:30, and I'm the first one there to sign up for the dinner, and I get my dinner reservation wherever I want.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I love that. Tell me a little bit more about solo sailors. So, once you guys tell me a little bit more about the vibe, because you were talking to me about it when we were on board, and I loved hearing that once everyone kind of meets, you get like you create like a chat group and you guys start chatting that way and you're like, let's meet here. Tell me a little bit more about that, right?
Right? It generally happens organically. That somebody says, "Hey, let's go and start up a WhatsApp group." I've intentionally not started a WhatsApp group, and there was only one solo sailing that I've been on that didn't have one. But otherwise, somebody starts a WhatsApp group, people
Mm.
join into it. You'll be able to find out, hey, we're at the manor, or I'm sitting in the galley, or hey, I just booked a room in the groupie. Come here. And so there's always an opportunity to find other people and what they're doing. And a misconception I think about the solos is that it's quote unquote singles, because while there may be people that are there looking to find
Yeah.
other sailors for hooking up for whatever, it's not always like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people. There are groups of women that I've been with, and not that way, but and it's like people think that this group is like a traveling group of friends, and they are a traveling group of friends, but they didn't know each other before they met
Mm.
in the solo group. And I still connect with them on WhatsApp. I still connect with them on Instagram. They're in communication with each other. It's building friendships in that solos group. And so today and in the last uh, uh, voyage, I've got a friend, Alan. Alan came back. He's sailing twice back to back. And I've got a friend here. I've got other people that are going to be coming back in January. So there, we connect, we continue to go
Mm-hmm.
and talk to each other. It's a great way to travel. Whether you're a woman or a man.
I do love that. I have heard that same thing from many of my solo travelers who return and absolutely love it because they create friendships and bonds, and keep coming back to sail with that with their groups. So I love that. I love that about the solo sailors. And like you said, it's not all singles. So we don't want everyone to think that it's just a single meetup. It's solo travelers that are looking to have friendship as well as possibly um, meet up. So yeah,
And
I love that. I love that about the solo sailors.
and you don't have to wait till 10 o'clock in the morning, or you can just talk to people. The people on board, the sailors on board, are just so genuine, authentic. They're the stress of life has left them when they
Yeah.
get through the queues and they're on board. Uh, and oh, is this your first sailing? Oh yeah, I've done this
Hmm.
before. Or that you've got something in common with everybody on this ship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I love that. Yeah, that's why I wanted to chat a little bit about solo. It's funny, you gave me a hard time. You told me I should be sailing solo at some point, and I was like, oh, I'll look into that. Not because I don't want to sail solo, it's just so hard because I have so much going on and fitting it in my schedule to be like, all right, I'm going solo. But I do believe, I agree with you that I should experience it and truly be solo. I mean, there are times that I've gone on board and I'm solo in the cabin. Of course, I get the little paper that says, hey, solo sailor, meet us at blah, blah, blah. But I have other friends on board and I've never gone. And I've actually said jokingly, like, hey, maybe we should just go and, be solo and go there. But I do think that there's a definite vibe and a different experience if you go truly solo. And I do think that that would be interesting. And I have no problems doing that. I just have to fit it in. That's the hardest part, fitting that in.
Well, again,
So
these are your priorities.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's fitting in. It's only because I've got so much going on and so many sailings. It's like, oh, I'm starting to think. I'm like, okay, can I get on in February? Maybe I'm already doing a week in February, so I'm like, yeesh. Um,
Or maybe you do a back to back. You do
how many pizzas do you think you've ordered from the pizza place? Oh my gosh, could you imagine if I stayed on board though and did a whole nother week?
yeah.
Because someone I know is staying. Not somebody you know. I mean, we've got a bunch of sailors on board after that one. Um, but yeah, that'd be a long 2 weeks I was gone.
Well,
And when I'm gone, I think all of March. I literally think I'm gone from this house all of March.
uh, pizzas. Pizzas. How many pizzas have I ordered? Well, I've tried to experiment and order at least one
Yes,
of each
pizza.
pizzas,
Okay, back to pizza.
but but the secret on the pizza for
Yes,
me,
and yeah, I was gonna say, and what's your custom order?
I don't have a custom order. I always take just what they're offering me. Um, and I should do something. I should throw
Mm.
throw a curveball at them. Um, but the crew, even the happenings cast, can't order pizza. They, the performers, the happenings cast, pizza is off limits to them, as is ice cream.
Oh.
So, so what I've done, like yesterday, after Nemo's magic show, I ordered a pizza and had that pizza after the magic show and
Hmm.
handed it off to my favorite charmer as opposed to eating it myself. So I have,
Oh.
in addition to clapping for somebody or, or just being present for them, I found that pizza is an awfully welcome reward for some of the cast crew.
Yeah.
So I don't,
Yeah. No, that's cool. I love that you know that. Yeah, because they don't get the pizza.
and they like it as you should.
Yeah, the pizza's good. I like the pizza. So people probably are trying to wonder, all right, you've been on board for this long, 2 months or yeah, about 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you get off in Miami to like get some toiletries or whatever? Like, how are you getting your daily things, like your daily toiletries, your laundry, all of that stuff? Like, how is that happening? Your haircut, which I do know the answer to.
Uh, in Miami, when you return after a cruise, once all of the departing sailors are gone, the back to back group has been brought together in the SIP lounge and they will escort us onto shore.
Hmm.
And you basically look into the camera, go through customs, and get your badge rescanned and then they will, when the ship clears, put you back on the ship. If you want to, while you're in Miami, you can do things like go and get an Uber and get your nails done. I don't know if I'm blocking my face or if you can see what I've done here. I've put the happenings cast on my nails. Um, I've gone in Key West, which is, I think, really convenient because in Miami, you either have to wait for a bus, you get an Uber, etc. In Key West, I can just get off the ship
It's far.
and walk over, get a coffee, and wait for the barber
It's right there.
to
Yeah.
open. And
Hmm.
one of the things that I've done there
Yeah.
was I decided Scarlet Night and or Christmas needs this, and I bleached the color out of my gray hair, and I've now got red hair. So I've got red tips. They're kind of a flame.
They look good.
Yep. And I'm now in a spot that is, I'm going to have to move because they're setting up for Scarlet Night. They're going to go and put oh,
Oh, that's right. They're putting the
selfie
photo booth.
station. Yeah.
If you've never been on Virgin before, there's no like photographers, and so on Scarlet Night is the only time that they actually quote unquote take a picture for you, which they're not truly taking the picture for you. It's a photo booth or a selfie photo booth basically, and you put in your name and your email address and click a button and pose, and then they send it to you. I think you only pose once, honestly, but it's basically but it's really cool, and it says Scarlet Night on it, and they send you the picture. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, but he's sitting right in that area that they do it in. So they're probably bringing the booth out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a few more questions and we'll call it a day. What's the most memorable port stop that you've done during your adventures so far?
Uh, I'm going to uh, a, a toss up. Um, on Bimini, I did a snorkel at the shipwreck with sharks. So I've got video with me swimming with sharks and with sharks being in a feeding
Oh, yes.
frenzy. And that was just
I
really
did
fun
see
to
that.
do. And then in Key West, uh,
Yeah, I saw that. You got good video. That was really cool.
I went with Kelly and her husband, Anthony, and further than the Naked Bar, I was able to get them to go all the way to the southernmost point, and we did a key lime pie crawl back. So we had several key lime pies to the point where
Yeah.
Kelly and Anthony were just like, I can't eat anymore, Mark. But we did stop just for refreshments and for the exercise and going up to the second floor. We did stop at
That's
that
fun.
Naked Bar, Bull and Whistle, uh, and had a drink there.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Only the second floor. That's good.
Yes, only
That's good
but
times. The second floor's
I
fun.
wanted to
Yeah,
go
that
and
is fun. I love that.
it's fun to watch the people's look in horror as they're walking down the staircase where they went up, and I'll call it by mistake, or they really didn't.
Yeah.
So their their looks are priceless when they're coming back down,
Yeah, because they think it's a rooftop bar.
and it is.
Yeah, because they think it's a rooftop bar. They're like, oh, look at this cool rooftop. Oh, it's a rooftopless bar. Is what they're thinking. Oh goodness, it's too funny. That's awesome. Let's see. What are my other questions for you before we got to go? So 2 months at sea now. What do you miss the least about land life?
Snow. The ability. One of the
That's true
questions
because you're
that you
from
had
Michigan.
asked me that I really didn't answer was um, I can go and stop at CVS or Walgreens along the way and pick up what I need, or
Oh yeah,
I've been
yeah,
fortunate and been able to go and have some things Amazon to Kelly to go and bring in for me.
yes,
Uh, and so,
yes. That is very true.
but being away and just having the option, if I want to go to do something silly like pet animals or pet my grandchildren, something like that,
Yeah.
that's not quite available.
What's your best advice for someone nervous about sailing solo?
Be nervous. You're going to come on board, and the nerves are going to go away, and you're going to realize you're worrying about nothing. It really, uh, uh, people,
Yeah.
the apprehension was there for me. My first sailing, I had my son with me, and then on the second sailing, I was just
Yeah, that's right.
traveling solo, and and I didn't know what that would be like. And
Yeah.
it turned out it was easier for me to meet people because I didn't have somebody else that I would be engaged in conversation with. And I meet people just throughout the voyage. So
Yeah.
as far as
That's
being
awesome.
nervous about something, just yeah, or lean into it. That's the other thing might be either realize, hey,
Mhm.
I have a problem meeting people or whatever, and it's just okay. Give yourself that to do. Just say hi to somebody. You know, you're in line for the wake,
Yeah.
and talk to the person in front of you or behind you.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. You've got 1 month to go. Almost. Yeah, you're almost at 1 month to go. What's the ultimate bucket
You
list
don't
moment
like
you
me?
still want to check off while you're on board?
Oh my gosh!
You don't like the one
Well,
month to go.
I
I know.
don't like. I don't like. I'm looking. I've got a suitcase full of chocolate now. I've gotten all
That's
sorts of
right, you
chocolate
do.
bars and boxes, and I stocked up with more candy today. I'm looking forward to being Santa Claus and on Christmas going around with a bag and handing out candy
Oh, that's
to
fun.
crew. Um, and
Oh,
that
that's
doesn't
super
get me
fun. I
to
love
the
that.
end of it. But that's one of the things I'm looking for. Somebody gifted me some bubbly, and so I'm looking forward to New Year's Eve,
Yes, that's right. Somebody, I
uh,
don't know who that person
opening that
is.
who that very nice person was. So I've got bubbly in my room, ready to go, and I've basically said that's my New Year's Eve.
Good.
So so I've got those things to look
Yay.
forward
Oh, I
to,
love that. And it's going to be
and
good bubbly too.
it's going to be good bubbly. And my pretty
Yeah.
is my cabinet, and so pretty will, I almost would like to be able to have the bubbly with those people that have been taking care of me so wonderfully. 19 cruises, and I'm virtually,
Yeah.
except for the first one where I was in a different cabin with my son, 18 of these
Hmm.
are all in the same cabin. So I've got my door
I
decorated
know. It's,
for Christmas. It's got
oh, I love
garland
that.
and lights. Um, and so
Yeah, we worked hard
maybe I
on
should
getting you
get
that
another
same cabin.
tattoo. Yeah.
You should, but it should say Fabulous Adventures Travel on it.
Uh,
He's like, oh, I don't know about that one, Sveta.
I don't know about that one.
Oh my gosh.
But maybe if there
So
were
I know, right?
if there were
So
a Panama and maybe I would. If there was a trip involved with it, I might do it. Yeah.
if what, there's all right, all right. Well,
Well,
we might be able to make that happen. Okay, so one last question. Do you see yourself doing this again?
I do.
Yeah, I think you're
Um,
great at it.
and whether it, I- yeah, this is I'm very blessed in some parts of my life and the ability to have the option to be able to do this.
Mhm.
Um, I I do want to be able to do it again.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I hope so for you because I think you're good at it. You're good at resident sailor. Phoebe, resident sailor. All right, well, we're going to wrap this up, and we can't thank you enough for joining us on Talk Virgin to Me. So thank you so much, Mark, and I hope you have a good last month of your sailing, and I can't wait to join you on January 8th to celebrate one more time, and for you to celebrate me and Top 100, which will be super fun for us to celebrate together because you played a very big role in that, so I can't thank you enough for that. And you might see me
Well,
cry just a little bit over that because, whoo, man, I can't thank you enough for that. So, thank you again for joining me, and we will leave you with our favorite phrase. You know what my favorite phrase is? I think you
yes, I
do.
do, but I'm blanking. Give me
All
the
right,
first word.
ready? You float.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
You
You
float
float
my
our
boat.
boat. Float
You
our boat.
float
Yes. All
our
right. Thanks,
boat.
everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mark.
And I, for me, you
Yes.
float my boat.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.